Rangers.
Hey!
Yay! We have a special edition. Guess who's on tonight, you guys? It's Anonymous Bob.
Try to fill the big shoes of Honey Badger. Honey Badger does such a great job. I don't know if I could fill those shoes, but I'll certainly try.
Honey Badger is on the lam. She's running from the law. She's done bad Honey Badger business somewhere.
Bad. I'm going to have to bail her out here in short order when this is complete.
Yes, Anonymous Bob is going to have to get Honey Badger out of the clink. So... but I'm so excited to mix it up. And I think that next week we're going to have at least one other guest and we're going to just try to go. So,
cool.
I'm going to have Anonymous Bob start tonight. Do you want to kind of talk about the housekeeping and the update on our channels?
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, first off, looks like Revolution Road Ranger numero uno got smacked down by the Bolsheviks. So now we're on number 2. And then we'll be on number 3, and then we'll be on, the story goes on. But every time we put these videos up, they'll be on Rumble, and then they're not that way. So they're going to be on there to see whenever you wish to see them. I encourage you to share, and please share. We really want to get the word out. This is all about getting the word out and getting everyone together on relatively the same page, to not just look at the news in a way of what we normally would when back in the days when the news was the news. It's not the news anymore. You know that, we know that. Frankly, we don't know what the news is anymore. But we do know there's stuff out there. And we do know that we're not being told certain things. So that's why I'm here. That's why Road Ranger's here. And that's why Honey Badger is here when she's not arrested. Anyway, so
yeah, very good.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and dig into your first story.
I will. I've got some friends in the airline industry, and I got something here that was given to me, and very interesting stuff. I don't know if you could see this.
I am sharing your screen. Yes, I can see your screen now.
All right. So basically what happens is when you go across, especially in places like Australia or London, England, you are essentially locked into your room for the duration of your trip. Now, these trips, usually when you go overseas, they're relatively long compared to domestic trips. You fly out, it's like 8 hours to London or something like that, or it's 14, 15 hours to Sydney, and you have a good 24 hours to maybe even 48 hours or longer of a layover. So
and
now,
this is like talking from like pilot or flight crew, right?
It doesn't matter who you are, pilot, flight attendant. Okay,
not passenger. You're talking employee, right?
As far as I know, this is just for pilots, really. But I imagine flight attendants are the same thing because there's really no difference. But as it's on this professional jet pilot Facebook page that a friend gave me, told me about this. That what they're doing is they're kept inside a hotel room, not allowed to leave, with police or guards on the floor. They're given them a meager meal 3 times a day, left at the door, which they cannot open until the person delivering it leaves. Give me a freaking break. Some are able to order takeout delivered to the room. It has taken them 2 to 4 hours to process their customs arrival and get to their nearby hotels. This has apparently been happening for over a year now, and some hotels claiming that United, in this particular case, is requesting that they are not allowed to leave their rooms. I don't know about that. It could be an airline policy, but the worst cities are Sydney, London Heathrow, Singapore, Sao Paulo, and Tel Aviv. Oh, and ironically, in Tel Aviv, get this, they're required to wear a patch. Yeah, a patch. And if you see, this is Q on there.
Q, yeah. Is that for quarantine?
Yeah. That's for quarantine. It's not the good Q. It's the bad.
Yeah.
Q.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we should, maybe not even say Q anymore. We got to say 17, right? Anyway, so anyway, yeah, this is crazy, man. So they make you wear these quarantine stickers on your arm. Well, few armed police escort you through tunnels to board the bus. The police check in at the hotel, won't let you touch the elevator keypad, plus a hall monitor on your floor. Give me a
that takes me back to 1939, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
people had to wear patches, and I'm not going to say the words. I think everyone knows. Wow, that is creepy.
And you're not going to see this on CNN. I don't know. You're not going to see it on Fox News. You're not going to see it on Newsmax. Maybe not even OAN. Who knows? But this is what I mean by the news. I mean, do we know this is true? No, we don't, because we weren't there. But we know that this has been put out there. There's a picture, there are names, and there are facts. We know that these cities are. I know for a fact from people I've talked to that I've corroborated the London story to a pilot I know. I'll call him John, and he flies out there frequently from this airport in the upper Midwest, and he goes there quite a bit. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we are allowed to leave the room, but we can't leave the hotel. We can go down and get a beer. Got to wear mask.
No sightseeing. No walking in the city with
none of that. No, they will arrest you.
What?
And and that's the way it is.
Why?
And, they've taken over. Tyranny.
It's international. How are they treating the passengers? I mean, because
that's a good. I don't know how that works.
Why would they treat the employees, the crew, different than the passengers?
I don't know.
I have no idea. And I mean, we may not. I know Australia has been very, very rigid as far as putting people right into like a hotel scenario for 14 days.
Yeah.
Because people were complaining and saying that they tested okay and they thought that they could leave, but they still wouldn't let them leave. It's like, I mean, oh my gosh, wow.
This is crazy, man. I mean, this is tyranny. This is utter tyranny. And it's all for a virus that, frankly, I think Europe, I don't know what it is about that place. Maybe there's something in them that they're so broken down, beaten by. Now, I'm talking Western Europe. Eastern Europe is a different story. If you go to Poland, if you go to Hungary, Romania, Croatia, Austria too. I mean, these are countries that are rising up. They're fighting illegal immigration. They're being labeled as extreme right wing because they're pro family, and they're pro keeping controls of immigration, and they're pro freedom. So that makes them extreme right wing. So those are countries that really, really dealt with communism in a big bad way for a long time, and now they're done. They're like hell, we're going that way. But countries like France, England, Germany, all these Western European countries, they're just kind of, they've been lulled into this slow boiling pot, like a frog in a slow boiling pot, into believing it's okay. And that's what we're dealing with. And Australia is the same way.
I feel like, and I agree with Eastern Europe, they've already been oppressed and whatnot. So they're going to be harder, but I think it's probably easier to brainwash sheep in Western and the US. So
yeah,
very interesting.
Definitely. Okay, so did you want to do the next one, or you want me to do another one for you?
No, keep going.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this, and this is the first time I'm doing this, so please bear with me.
Yeah, no worries.
Switch gears here to something a little more around our stateside area here. Let's take a look and see what's going on. We
have some fun updates.
Yeah, stand by. Let's make sure that I'm doing this right. Okay, okay.
Yes, so, I can see it.
You see the Senate President Fan says finding answers is a goal. Now, the Democrats had a chance. From what I understand, the Democrats had a chance to be a part of this whole audit down in Maricopa County. They flat out refused 3 times. The Republican, and I don't have the names. I had the names. Sure. I can't. But they tried. They talked to the Democrat leader of Arizona and said, they asked him, hey, we'd love to have you guys here to make sure everything is on the up and up.
Well, that's only fair. Yeah.
Well, fair is fair. I get it. And that should be. And they refused it. They had 3 offers and they refused them all. Now they're crying foul about some issue with they're trying to stop it now because of a lack of security.
Okay. Well, we know that there's going to be Groundhog Day with different excuses. They also didn't pay the bail or the bond.
Exactly.
The $1 million bond.
Yeah. So. Apparently, it's not worth $1 million to them. So okay.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though, because now I'll back up a little bit. But there's 2.1 million ballots casted in Maricopa County. Mm-hmm. In 2016, it was half that.
Interesting.
Okay. And Trump won by I think the number is around 80,000 votes against Clinton.
But we're also seeing a lot of counties that had more votes cast than registered voters. So
no, you don't say.
I know it sounds crazy.
It's fake news, man. No, I know it's crazy. This is why the audit is happening, because we know there's a very good chance that this might be an issue. Now they go on to say that this person, I forgot the name here, the Senate President Fan, says finding the answers goal Maricopa County audit. That is to prevent this from happening again in the next election, not so much to overturn this election. She has no authority to overturn this election. However, if there is legal precedent, if this does if they find out that Trump won by, it doesn't matter if he wins by one or 100,000. If he wins, that makes Biden an illegitimate winner of this county. Okay, now there's also legal precedent. If this is one domino to fall, Georgia falls, Pennsylvania falls, Michigan, Wisconsin, if they all fall, there's precedent that if you engage in a contract that's fraudulent, everything about that contract that has been done to this point is now null and void. Okay, now there is Supreme Court precedent for that. I don't know what the legal term is, but I know there is. Look it up yourself if you want to, but there is precedent. I mean, think about it. If a contract has been, let's say you make a deal on a house, and that house has mold in it, you know about it, and that person buys your house thinking there's no mold. Well, they find out later that not only does it have mold, but they knew you knew it, and you didn't tell them. Okay, that makes that whole transaction null and void. That is in essence what would happen in this case. I believe in a legal situation now. I'm not a lawyer, but I didn't spend the night in the Holiday Inn Express. So I think the fact is this is very interesting because it's going to show at least that he is who he is. He's got no authority. He is unelected. He really was unelected. He is irrelevant, and everything he's done to this point, along with his administration, should be considered null and void.
Well, I actually had an article, if you don't mind me jumping in, because Rachel Maddow earlier today, I don't know if you read anything about her. If you don't mind me switching into this one.
Not at all. Let me, I just popped out of mine. Go ahead.
Okay, let me share my screen. So basically what she is saying is, her head is exploding and she's warning that it's the end of democracy. And basically, so this is what's happened. Okay. Apparently, and I'm not sure, Cyber Ninjas, a Florida-based consulting firm that was hired as a lead auditor in Arizona, had been picked to testify in a lingering election-related lawsuit in Antrim County, Michigan. And what Maddow is complaining about is that she's concerned that the Cyber Ninjas, again, kind of what we talked about the other day, is they could take this method onto all these other states. And from her view, Maddow's view is that this is the end of democracy. But basically, one of several, let's see, and predicting startling results with implications in other states. So this is basically took note of a statement by President Trump saying that we're going to see crazy stuff from Arizona, and a lawyer for Cyber Ninjas asking a court to keep its methods under seal as trade secrets in a lawsuit filed by Democrats who argue that the audit violates state election security laws. And of course, we know how they're doing it. They're probably using, watermark blacklight technology. Yep. There's probably signature technology that we don't know about. And she read a passage in the filing from the Democrats saying that the firm Cyber Ninjas expects to have similar business opportunities to undertake such work for other governments around the country. And her concern is that she's saying that because they're asking to keep their method trade secret, that this company is just winging it and that it's BS. And, she's saying that there's a bunch of QAnon conspiracy theorists running this audit, and that this is just the end of any democracy. And that basically what they're going to say is that the Republicans are trying to steal this back.
Of course they are.
Account is account. And I think everybody, the crazy thing is if you go into, if we were to, and there have been leaked audio from Project Veritas, people at the table with Democrats, especially after the play date, and I'm going to mention in January, the play date. Mm-hmm. Democrats are saying everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows there was election issues. Everyone knows. Why are they even pretending anymore?
Right. Yeah, it's funny how they say this is the end of democracy.
No.
When
Yeah, this
the
is
end of
democracy.
it's democracy in action. And I think the word democracy gets thrown around a little bit too liberally. I think we're a representative republic that uses the democratic procedure to elect our leaders. So we're not a true full-on democracy, mob rules country, at least not yet. Hopefully we'll never get there. But I think the fact is that when you verify people's ballots, the ballots are. Why would you be against that? Why would you, if you're so much into democracy, why would you be opposed to verifying that these ballots are legitimate? Would it not reinforce the legitimacy of Biden?
You can't ignore, even if you don't like it, you can't ignore when people say that there are more votes cast than registered voters in each county in certain areas. You can't. Yeah. I mean, sorry.
And that particular county in Michigan was a big problem, and there was a big swing there. And we don't know. I've heard that maybe there was a computer, like they were maybe the database from the one. What was that place? And was it Frankfurt or Rome or something, or all those Chinese?
Okay.
What do they call them? It was a long time ago. Where I think it was Mike Lindell showed that video, and
Dominion.
And showed that they were allowing these inbound information. I think it was inbound internet searches or inbound internet downloads that changed the votes.
Correct. And there's also people that are just kept rerunning the same ballots over and over again, just sit there for hours.
That's just crazy. Oh, that's democracy, by the way. Yeah, that's Rachel Maddow. That's is she or he? I can't figure her out, or him. I don't know.
No comment.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I care less, frankly, whatever. But it's just, I'm a little confused.
So, very good. No, I think that's hopefully that's a good update. They're counting again, and we'll see.
Yep, we'll see. It'll be very interesting. Again, she's right. She can't change the outcome of the votes. This is going to take a while, and if this does produce anything, it'll definitely change the way votes are tallied and casted, and you'll see watermarks on just about every ballot. Make sure it's nationwide, and at least that'll be good. And maybe, just maybe, there'll be a Supreme Court precedent to overturn the election. Just maybe. We don't know.
Well, it looks like that's going. They're doing a traveling road show, so hopefully this is what we wanted, and. Yep. They can reproduce. So it sounds like that's already underway.
Exactly. Yes, it is.
Awesome. So what have you got? What else have you got?
Well, let's see here. I was just looking up something here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. StreamYard, share. Stand by.
No worries. I know there have been a couple big stories today.
This guy. That guy. No, the guy that wanted to be president about 12 years ago. This guy.
Kerry.
John Swiftboat Kerry.
What are we going to do with him?
Oh, boy. Likely to avoid Iran comments investigation. You don't say. Of course, they're not going to do anything. The Democrats running the Senate. Democrats running. There's nothing is going to happen with this. Nothing. I've got no hope for that. He's got to. This is BS. This guy literally. They have tapes on this guy of him talking to this Iranian foreign minister. Okay, why would this Iranian foreign minister even say this? I thought Iran and John Kerry were like compadres, because they.
Well, here's what I'm wondering: if this isn't part of this declassification of, information. I'm wondering if this isn't part of, the destruction of the deep state, that this is coming out, because this is treason.
It is. It's utter treason. And just think, this tool could have been the freaking president in 2004. He could have been president. This guy, I'm blown away. We came that close having a traitor as a president. We've had him before, but
And also, you know, he's denying it, of course, but the clincher here is that supposedly the gist is that they're not sure when the recordings are from, and we don't know if, because I guess B put him back in into play after B was inaugurated, but we also don't know if this tape is from January to now, or if this is a tape from when Trump was president, because Trump said time and time again that Obama ran a shadow presidency. Yeah. And it's very possible that Kerry was continuing Secretary of State duties underneath the table and was still carrying on with this guy even when Trump was president.
Which is in violation of Logan Act, from what I understand.
But Obama, his fingerprints are all over this.
Oh, you don't say.
And B's as well. And the fact that he's back in play now is not a coincidence.
Wow. This is just amazing. You know, I'm not surprised. I am, but I'm not. I mean, this guy, you know, I'm not surprised, really, because they're all about taking down this country. And,
well, yeah, go ahead.
And, you know, the fact that he left, what, $170 billion on a runway in Iran right before the big O left office, you know, yeah. I mean, and John Kerry's fingerprints are all over that.
Well, apparently this is the new way of doing it, are these shadow governments that are carrying on underneath. And I know that Mr. T has been accused of carrying on a shadow because he still meets with people down in Florida. But this is just, I mean, I wonder if this isn't also another sign, is what I'm hoping, because this actually has been on MSN. They actually have a story about this, and it's not a very good one. The headline is on MSN: John Kerry facing calls to resign by GOP over leaked Iran tapes. And the fact that the mainstream media is even covering this is a huge deal.
Well, doesn't the New York Times, don't they hold the tapes to this thing?
They do.
And that's another thing too. They're not exactly, I mean, they're part of the Democrat Party, so they have, I mean, I'm not, okay, help me out with this. If the New York Times has tapes on these, why would they be holding them? Why would they be divulging that? Now, maybe they were forced to.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if this isn't pressure. And,
that might be.
You know, think about all the things that have been happening recently and how we can maybe tie them all together as signs. That's what I'm hoping. I might be wrong.
No, I think you're right. I think you've got some good intuition on this. Definitely. Wow. Well, that's all awesome. I got right now. I think I got, yeah, that's it. I got this Arizona Vote Audit live stream, but that's just a live stream.
Great.
I don't think and there's really nothing there. It just shows the cameras, but I'll show it just for the sake of showing it. Let's see here.
And then I have a couple more.
Okay.
Whenever you're okay. So they are counting. Look at them go.
Yep. And it's all, it's all there. I mean, these cameras are down for whatever reason, but you got 5 cameras, you got tables. I guess they got these white or yellow shirts, blue shirts. Yeah. And they're doing their thing.
So I'm going to see if I can pull something up here really quick. Just as a side note, looking at the blue shirts and the red shirts, I'll get this pulled up and then I'll share my screen. So Ghost Ezra is somebody that I follow on Telegram. And about a week ago, he had posted a picture of Trump on an aircraft carrier, and he was walking out and saluting some troops. Hopefully I can find it here. Here it is. I'll share my screen. All right, let's see. All right, so this picture right here. So here's a picture, if you can see where my mouse is, of Trump on an aircraft carrier. And then these are the guys that usually like guide the planes in and out with the little the flight crew.
Yeah, they're assigned to certain positions on the carrier.
Correct.
Yeah.
So look at the colors of the shirts.
Sure.
And look at the colors of the shirts here in Arizona.
Interesting.
And Ghost Ezra is hinting, because he posted this picture of Trump and these guys a week ago before we saw any pictures of the audit. And he posted again yesterday and says, do you see what I'm saying? And this is, to me, him hinting that this is military. I don't know if that's true or not, but the shirt colors, the way that they have teams with different colors, it seems very similar.
Very interesting.
So
maybe it is military.
I thought I would just share it. I don't know if they're overseeing this. It might be completely wrong. But I thought this was very interesting, and that he posted this a week ago. So moving on from that, and I wanted to say really quick in the comments, looks like Honey Badger is out of the clink. Someone
thank God.
Her out.
Well, glad I'd saved a couple bucks. I mean, that's probably a $1,000 bail or something.
She gets in a lot of trouble. And then Carl Camera. I'm not sure who Carl Camera is, but thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
So fun having Anonymous Bob as my zany sidekick tonight. It's been fun. So let me go into my next story, if you can see my screen.
Yep.
So this article is 100 days into presidency. Sleepy B, his immigration executive actions triple Trump's analysis finds. So in the first 100 days, when you compare administrations, Biden has signed 3 times the executive orders pertaining to immigration in his first 100 days versus what Mr. T had done. And apparently the count is 94 as of Tuesday today, 94 EOs on immigration. And he, it confounds me when you watch these press briefings with Jen Psaki, and people are asking her about the border and where's Camel Toe? Why isn't she at the border? And, Jen, her response is that Camel Toe is what she's focusing on is not physically being at the border, but basically meeting with other leaders from Mexico, Guatemala, etc. And she's trying to do things to fix the situation from the problems within. Well, how about not reversing the EOs that Mr. T had in place and causing probably almost 1 million people now to cross the border? How about having not done that, or maybe switching it back to the way it was before? This is what is making me cuckoo, because they're talking about it being a crisis. They've now called it a crisis. And they're saying that Camel Toe isn't at the border, but she's dealing with leadership, which I think is BS, to try to help solve the problem. Well, 100 days ago, they caused the problem. Nobody's apologized. Nobody's trying to backtrack and reverse the EOs. If anything, they've added more EOs. And Texas is suing, like we talked about, Texas is suing the administration because of the fact that many people is actually hurting their environmental safety, as far as, people on the road, emissions. Now we've got a health crisis. We have a humanitarian crisis. It's like we're we say it every day, we're in the twilight zone.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't understand how you could take some policies that are actually helping. And they've been complaining about the wall, and they must hate Trump so much, that they're willing to cut their arms off in spite of the rest of their body. I mean, they just don't care. Their hatred is so strong. I don't know what else it is.
I don't know. What's even more confusing is, because I thought that they would let people over and then they process them, they give them some, BS court date, show up here. But it also states that ICE arrests have decreased by more than 60%. So they're also not going after anybody.
Yeah.
So they're not arresting it. It's just everybody is just, everybody who comes over or is basically getting more of a stimulus package than Americans do.
Yep.
They're getting more benefits than Americans do. And then, but they say that they're trying to stem the flow. What? I mean,
okay, so compare that with what I showed earlier. That with this.
Yeah.
Okay. You see mine? I don't know if you can see
Oh,
it.
here, let me go. I have to switch it. All right, go. Yes, we can see.
Where pilots and flight attendants have to go when they go to another country, they're locked into their freaking rooms, and they're there to provide a service. They're actually providing income to the countries that they're serving. Okay, they're bringing in revenue.
They're running business, yeah.
And look what we're doing to these people. What they're coming in, and they're not even being COVID tested. Some of them have COVID, and they come right in, not wearing a mask, and they just go out, and then they get in the 737. They get flown to some place in Arkansas or whoever, God knows where. Ohio or Oregon, who knows? We don't know where these people are going. But look what we're doing. Oh my God. I mean, this is just a glaring example of how stupid this policy is. Now, granted, I don't agree with how we're being treated here in other countries, but at least they have the sense of being consistent. Okay, there's no consistency with this policy with these immigrants.
No, and it's just every other day. It depends on, somebody was talking about the fact that Biden is always talking about social distancing and wearing a mask. Apparently he was wearing the mask on the Zoom call because he wants to send a message to people, how we have to social distance. And even if you have the poke, you need to still wear the mask. But during the, impeachment of Mr. T, they let all those people crowd into a room, to vote. I mean, so again, it's just crazy. I don't know. And I was actually at the doctor's office today, and even the nurse who was there, she just said that we need Jesus back so badly.
Amen to that.
This isn't just us. This is a lot of people. They go, our country went to hell in a very short period of time.
Didn't take long.
People are so confused as to how we even got here. And she said her husband listens to Glenn Beck, and he recalled that years ago Glenn Beck had said and predicted, one day you're going to wake up and you're not going to wake up in the same America you think you live in. It's going to be completely different. And I feel like we're here.
I feel like we're here too. And, last year, and this, I mean, I had a situation at work that caused some consternation because of my opinions on Facebook, which is why I'm Anonymous Bob, by the way.
Yes.
And because I figured it's easier to stay in a fight and just change my name than get out of the fight entirely. That is so true. I never knew that some simple opinions would drive an hour-and-a-half tribunal in my boss's office with corporate.
And you didn't even do anything. I think you took a picture and posted it somewhere.
I took a picture of what I thought was kind of funny and humorous. It depended on how you looked at it. I didn't see it as a racial thing, but someone did, and they freaked out and they doxed me and they found out where I worked and they went. I mean, I didn't say anything about my job. I didn't say anything about what I did.
They found
I was harassed. I was on vacation. I was just, I was just on Facebook trying to, showing a picture to a friend who had recently been promoted, and and trying to be like a compadre with him with this picture. And I don't want to get too much into it, but it led me down a path of, am I really in America anymore? I mean, is this what my father fought for? Is this what my uncles fought for? Is this what I think we're living in a time that Glenn Beck is talking about, right? We're here right now. We've been there.
You were in a very serious situation from a Facebook post, and you were basically, you were followed by an activist from another group.
Yeah, well, the name will be, it's a three-letter group that's very well known.
Yeah. And that's why you're anonymous now, because it's not worth it, but you still want to help.
I still do. It's the cost is too high. If I were to just John Hancock myself and put my real name out there, I would lose, my family would lose, my kids would lose, I would lose everything. And to me, I think there's a better way to fight this. It's called being shrewd. This is my way to do it.
Well, and like you let off, for folks who've just joined us, the very first Revolution Road Ranger on YouTube, Road Ranger 1, even though we haven't been able to use it for a few weeks, they basically they have shut the whole channel down. It's completely gone. Yeah. And that's, again, just to reiterate, that's why we're trying to get everybody over to Rumble, because it doesn't matter who you are, how big you are, how small you are, you're going to get censored. They listen to every word we say. We try to sub words out. It's just no one's safe. And it's huge. It's a huge issue. But I'm going to show something that I think is kind of humorous. Here, I'll share my screen.
Yeah, we could use that right now. That'd be kind of nice.
Well, it's kind of ironic. So Mr. B has been in politics for 47, 48 years now. Back in the 70s, if you're old enough to remember, there was a movement to try to desegregate schools, and they were looking at busing students from the white schools to the predominantly black schools and vice versa. And Biden, who I think he was in Delaware at the time still, as a freshman senator in 1975, he actually fought busing back then. And there was another kind of racist bill that he fought against as well. And it's ironic because when he was running for president and Camel Toe was on the dais next to him, she actually used this against him. And he was very racist in his earlier days. He was against gay marriage. There is video of marriages between a man and a woman, and his Delaware constituents didn't want busing. So he voted against it. He fought it. And again, there were a couple other bills that I didn't go too deep into, but he has a record of racist voting. So it's all bluster. I'm telling you right now. And next week I'm going to have General Ralph on, and General Ralph has actually studied the Civil War, and it was shocking to me. He gave me some information. I'm not going to go too much, but he's going to come on next week and he's going to talk about the Civil War, and he's going to give us some information that I don't think people really widely talk about. So,
interesting. I love history.
Yeah. So General Ralph will be on next week.
Cool.
I did reach out to Nino Rodriguez today.
Yeah. Did you hear anything back?
I have not heard anything back. I mean, who knows? These guys are so busy. I'm sure they're inundated with requests, but
yeah, you might have to send a few more. You probably get 1,000 emails an hour. Who knows? Correct. But yeah, I think it's important to get the word out. We're doing. You guys are doing such a great job, Honey Badger and yourself. I'm really. I was telling this to Honey Badger the other day. I'm like, I just watch you guys. I mean, that's all I do, because you tell the news, tell like it is, and that's it. And then you got an opinion, and we're yeah. Well, of course, and throw a little a couple glasses of wine, and then before you know it, you're having a great time. Yeah.
And then there's Nana back there. Nana, say hi.
Hey, Nana. Hey.
She's been very busy today.
Yeah.
Holding down the Nana layer.
All right.
Well, let's give Lisa. I know that Honey Badger, I think she's out with our fan Lisa. So let's give Lisa a shout.
Hey, Lisa. Yeah. Hope things are going well. Hope you're keeping her out of the clink. She don't want to cut you out. Lisa's probably want to cut her out, I bet.
Probably. I think she probably did. But But I think this is fabulous. And thank you so much, Anonymous Bob, for coming on. And, we're definitely going to have you on again and again. We can have 3 or 4 people up. So we'd love to have you back. And I guess, are you done? You have any other stories? I'm
done. I am finished. And thank you so much for having me on board today. And I really had a fun time. And I just hope that, Yeah, this is just it's a lot of fun, and it's also very enlightening, and I'm just glad to be here. Thank you.
Good. Well, we'll do our sign off. So we're going to pray for the military,
and
the kids, and President Trump. And Nana. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Anonymous Bob. You guys all have a good night. Thank you so much, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bye-bye.